Joy Behar never anticipated the whirlwind that would engulf her during a seemingly routine episode of The View. One moment she was delivering her signature sharp commentary, and the next, she found herself at the heart of an unexpected storm. The atmosphere in the studio shifted dramatically when Sunny Hostin, a longtime co-host and fervent advocate for racial justice, steered the conversation in an unforeseen direction. With a carefully crafted remark, Sunny cast a shadow over Joy, a cryptic accusation that sent shockwaves through the room and left millions of viewers at home on the edge of their seats. Sunny's words were not explicit, but their implication was unmistakable. She insinuated that Joy's humor and pointed commentary might have crossed a line that, according to Sunny, had sparked Melania Trump's explosive $100 million lawsuit against the network. A collective hush fell over the studio as the weight of the moment sank in. Joy's face briefly registered disbelief before it was replaced by her characteristic defiance. For a woman who had spent decades in front of the camera, deftly navigating controversy, this accusation struck a different chord. Was Sunny truly suggesting that Joy's years of wit and pointed banter had escalated into a legal quagmire? Joy, known for her resilience, was not one to back down. Fixing Sunny with a steely gaze, her voice sliced through the silence like a knife. "Are you actually suggesting that I'm to blame for this lawsuit?" Her tone was calm, but the underlying intensity was unmistakable. The tension in the studio became almost tangible as Sunny, visibly conflicted yet resolute, responded. "I'm saying some narratives were pushed relentlessly," she said, her words echoing with determination. The air in the room crackled with electricity. What had begun as a routine morning show had now transformed into a moment of live television history. Viewers could sense it. This was not just another heated exchange. This was deeply personal. Joy, ever the fighter, was not about to let the moment pass without a counterpunch. With the stakes higher than ever, it was evident that this confrontation would leave an indelible mark, not just on The View, but on Joy's. But what pushed Sunny Hostin to make such a bold accusation in the first place? The answer lies in a shocking family secret that turned Sunny from critic to target in the blink of an eye. This revelation not only added fuel to the fire, but also exposed the deep-seated tensions that had been simmering beneath the surface for years. As the cameras continued to roll, the studio audience and viewers at home were left on the edge of their seats, eager to uncover the truth behind Sunny's cryptic remark. The stage was set for an explosive confrontation that would leave a lasting impact on The View and its hosts. The drama was far from over, and the stakes had never been higher. Sunny Hostin, known for her fearless advocacy for social justice on The View, never hesitated to call out racism, inequality, and historical injustices. Her voice was unwavering, her stance clear. There was no room for excusing the sins of the past. But everything changed when Sunny appeared on the PBS show Finding Your Roots. During the program, Sunny made a shocking discovery that her third great-grandfather had been a slaveholder. This revelation was jarring, not only for Sunny, but also for viewers who had followed her passionate condemnations of systemic racism. For a brief moment on screen, the shock in Sunny's eyes was undeniable. However, instead of confronting the discovery head-on, she dismissed it as an unfortunate fact of history, a product of its time. Joy Behar sat in stunned silence for a moment, her eyes locked on Sunny Hostin. The air in the studio was electric, the audience holding its breath. Sunny's subtle accusation that Joy's jokes had helped fuel Melania Trump's $100 million lawsuit wasn't something that could be brushed off. It wasn't a playful jab or a lighthearted remark, it was a direct hit, and Joy wasn't about to let it slide. Joy leaned in, her expression shifting from surprise to something sharper, more deliberate. Her voice, calm but cutting, broke the silence. "Are you suggesting that I'm responsible for Melania Trump's lawsuit?" she asked, the words hanging heavily in the air. The tension in the studio was palpable. Sunny hesitated, clearly realizing the gravity of what she had implied, but it was too late. The damage was done. Joy didn't wait for an answer. She unleashed a response that was as precise as it was devastating. She reminded Sunny on live television of all the times The View had given her a platform to speak out against racism and injustice. Joy pointed out the glaring contradiction. Sunny had never hesitated to hold others accountable for their actions. Yet now, when faced with her own family's dark history, she deflected blame. "How can you hold everyone else's feet to the fire, but can't do the same for yourself?" Joy's voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. The weight of her words hit like a hammer. She wasn't just defending herself, she was exposing the inconsistency in Sunny's. Then came the bombshell that no one saw coming. News broke that Melania Trump was filing a staggering $100 million lawsuit over what she claimed were damaging and defamatory statements. The specifics of the lawsuit were unclear, but the timing was impossible to ignore. The media frenzy surrounding Sunny Hostin's family revelation was still fresh, and now Melania's legal action was dominating headlines. But this wasn't just another celebrity lawsuit, it was something far more dangerous for The View. Greg Gutfeld, already relentless in his criticism of Sunny, took it a step further. He skillfully connected the dots between Sunny's dismissive reaction to her family history and the lawsuit Melania had filed. Gutfeld painted a picture. While Melania was actively fighting to protect her reputation, Sunny was dodging accountability for her own family's dark past. The narrative was set, and it was devastating. Suddenly, The View wasn't just a talk show, it was at the center of a media storm involving allegations of hypocrisy, personal betrayal, and now, a looming legal battle. Producers behind the scenes at ABC grew anxious. Rumors swirled that advertisers were getting cold feet, nervous that the show's controversies were spiraling out of control. And then, in a moment of thinly veiled frustration, Sunny made a critical error. She hinted on live television that Joy Behar's on-air jokes and commentary had fueled the narrative that led to Melania's lawsuit. She didn't say it outright, but the implication was clear. Joy's humor, Sunny suggested, had given people like Melania the ammunition they needed to strike back. It was a dangerous accusation, and if Sunny thought Joy would stay quiet, she was gravely mistaken. Because Joy Behar, the criticism extended beyond social media. Conservative commentators seized upon the controversy, eager to amplify accusations of hypocrisy. Fox News host Greg Gutfeld devoted an entire segment to the topic, lambasting Sunny's response. He accused her of failing to adhere to the same high standards she imposed on others. Gutfeld did not hold back, portraying her as a figure who preached morality, but faltered when confronted with the uncomfortable truths of her own family's past. His scathing critique resonated with viewers who were already skeptical of Sunny's stance, further fanning the flames of public outrage. As the backlash intensified, Sunny's credibility as a champion of justice came under scrutiny. The controversy threatened to overshadow her significant contributions to discussions on race and equality. For Sunny, the challenge was not solely about her family's history, it was a test of her principles and how she would navigate the delicate balance between advocacy and accountability under the harsh glare of public scrutiny. The moment underscored the complexities of personal history and public perception, forcing Sunny to confront the very issues she had long championed. It was a poignant reminder that the journey toward justice and understanding is fraught with challenges, even for those most committed to the cause. Sunny Hostin sat motionless, her silence heavier than any words she could have spoken. The damage was done. Joy Behar's biting critique had laid bare a contradiction Sunny couldn't easily explain. The air in the studio felt suffocating, the audience too stunned to react. But beyond the cameras, the fallout had already begun. Social media was ablaze. Clips of Joy's takedown circulated at lightning speed. Some viewers praised Joy for holding Sunny accountable, calling it a necessary confrontation. Others condemned her, accusing Joy of being too harsh, of turning a personal struggle into a public spectacle. Behind the scenes, ABC executives scrambled to contain the situation. Advertisers were rumored to be uneasy. Producers feared the show's dynamic was on the verge of collapse. What had once been spirited debate between co-hosts was now a very real, very public fracture. Days passed, but the tension didn't. On air, Joy and Sunny shared the stage, but the energy between them was cold, distant. The audience watched closely, dissecting every glance, every word. The question lingered. Could they move past this, or was this the beginning of the end for their on-screen relationship? Joy Behar sat in stunned silence for a moment, her eyes locked on Sunny Hostin. The air in the studio was electric, the audience holding its breath. Sunny's subtle accusation that Joy's jokes had helped fuel Melania Trump's $100 million lawsuit wasn't something that could be brushed off. It wasn't a playful jab or a lighthearted remark, it was a direct hit, and Joy wasn't about to let it slide. Joy leaned in, her expression shifting from surprise to something sharper, more deliberate. Her voice, calm but cutting, broke the silence. "Are you suggesting that I'm responsible for Melania Trump's lawsuit?" she asked, the words hanging heavily in the air. The tension in the studio was palpable. Sunny hesitated, clearly realizing the gravity of what she had implied, but it was too late. The damage was done. Joy didn't wait for an answer. She unleashed a response that was as precise as it was devastating. She reminded Sunny on live television of all the times The View had given her a platform to speak out against racism and injustice. Joy pointed out the glaring contradiction. Sunny had never hesitated to hold others accountable for their actions. Yet now, when faced with her own family's dark history, she deflected blame. How can you hold everyone else's feet to the fire, but can't do the same for yourself? Joy's voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. The weight of her words hit like a hammer. She wasn't just defending herself, she was exposing the inconsistency in Sunny's stance. Sunny's face tightened. She opened her mouth, then closed it. The silence spoke louder than words. The cameras caught every flicker of emotion: confusion, frustration, embarrassment. Joy had cornered her, and the audience could feel it. Behind the scenes, panic rippled through the production crew. This wasn't a scripted disagreement. This was raw, unfiltered conflict unfolding in real time. Producers whispered frantically, unsure whether to cut to commercial or let the confrontation play out. But it was too gripping to interrupt. Joy leaned back slightly, her point made, but her eyes still locked on Sunny. It was a clear challenge. Defend yourself or own up to it. The live audience murmured, and social media exploded. Clips of the exchange were already making their rounds online. Hashtags began trending, some praising Joy for standing up to hypocrisy, others criticizing her for publicly humiliating Sunny. But one thing was certain, this feud was far from over.